we have to say, no, you gotta pick something, and you gotta shout it from the rooftops, because people in Uganda need you to. Hey, it's Josh.
And Heath.
Welcome to our bedroom here at the Granville Island Hotel, the only hotel on Granville Island, which happens to be the second most popular destination in Canada.
Second only to Niagara Falls.
Yeah. So we are in the heart of the popular tourist destination. Great, quaint, cute little hotel.
And has a brewery.
Yeah. How many hotels can say that?
I don't know.
Who knows?
More than one.
Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, count them.
But today's video is actually inspired by somebody else, Louis, who commented on my video where Heath's cousin was with us, who is about 20 years younger, and like a lot of people her age and younger, she doesn't identify as anything when it comes to her sexuality. And so Louis, I think that's how you pronounce it, wrote that he's proud to identify as gay and thinks it's still important for anyone in the LGBTQ plus community to identify themselves as such so that the public knows and is made aware of our existence. We're still not at the point where one's sexuality is passé enough to be ignored. Straightness is still privileged and we can't fight for equality if they don't know who's confronting them.
Fair enough.
You agree?
To an extent, yeah.
I said that's an interesting way to look at it. But more and more I see views like this, especially the younger that they get. It's also why, at least around here, so many gay bars and businesses are closing up or just becoming bars and businesses without the gay part. We're definitely fading into the crowd somewhat, which can be good and bad, I guess. And he said, I feel it's bad that we, the LGBTQ plus community, are fading into the crowd. Society is definitely not at the point where all sexualities can be treated homogeneously. We can't fight for true and legitimate equality if it's falsely perceived to be the case already. I didn't really agree with that. And certainly I don't think your cousin, if I could speak for her, or people of that generation, if I could speak for them, would agree with that. Because they're all about, well, not all of them, but again, just sort of stereotyping, blending in and just being yourself, and you don't need to put on labels or limits, and everybody is just themselves. Their name.
Which I think, in an ideal world, that's great, but in the greater schemes of things, I think that's short-sighted. Like, there's people like Trump, and there are countries like in Africa and Asia that it's illegal to be gay, and it's dangerous to live there. I think there's a long ways to go before we can just be like, oh, I am what I am.
Sure, that's fair, but maybe in those countries it's different than here. A lot of people who are 20 years old and haven't faced any sort of discrimination are sort of like, I don't need to run around yelling that I'm Jewish. I don't need to run around yelling that I'm this, that, the other. Why do I have to run around yelling that I'm gay? In Canada, especially.
Because if you have a relationship with somebody other than a person of the opposite sex in a very traditional type of relationship, you can be killed.
But not here, we can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's the whole world where we don't have to. I mean, it's not just about Vancouver.
Yeah, but so does somebody who's 18 years old now and says, well, I don't need to identify as anything, I'm just George. I love people, I don't see sexuality, blah, blah, blah. We have to be like, we have to say, no, you gotta pick something, and you gotta shout it from the rooftops, because people in Uganda need you to.
Well, I think it goes back to those people who say, oh, we don't need pride parades anymore. Well, yeah, I think we kind of do.
Yeah?
I don't know, I think it's not about a parade, it was about protest originally, and then protesting rights, and we still haven't got the same rights as straight people. And
well, here we do.
Where is here? Define here.
Vancouver.
Well, okay, well.
And we still have a big Vancouver Pride Parade.
Yes, and people question that every year. And people are like, oh, we don't need it, especially the young people. I'm like, don't forget where you've come from, and there are a lot of other people out there in the world who don't have what you have. I mean, we have food here. There's places where people are starving to death.
Yeah, so do we have a parade for food?
No, but you've missed my analogy there. Like, it's not equal, so until everybody's equal, we shouldn't take that for granted.
Right, but we're not saying that they're taking it for granted. We're saying that they don't want to identify. They don't want to put themselves in a box. I don't know that we should be pushing them that they need to.
No. I think that's good. I mean, I don't think they should have to label themselves, but I think they shouldn't be blasé about that right to do that.
Right, well, but sticking to the topic of, is it good or bad that that people don't have to identify? The thing that brought this up was, Louis said, I can paraphrase this properly, like that he thinks people need to identify. People need to say, I am gay, or I'm this, or I am that, and we shouldn't be blending into society. Do you agree with that? Do you want to tell your cousin she needs to identify as something?
No.
Right. So
I don't want to tell her that, but I think if she had to fill out a census form, let's say, that I think, yeah, she should pick something. Not just be like, not fill it in, or just be like, none of the above, or something, because I think it still matters.
Well, so you're forcing her to identify?
Indirectly, yeah.
Okay.
Well, and if she identifies as pansexual, gender fluid, something, I think it's identify as whatever you want, just identify as something. It still represents society.
Yeah, I mean, that just leads into the whole, like, gender binary thing, right? So people have to identify as something.
Well, I mean, identify as they, I don't care, but identify as something. And sometimes people don't feel like they...
So maybe there should be an option for other, but then again, are you going to be happy with that? Because that's just the way, I mean, honestly, I think we can debate this all we want, but the way society is going, young people today, they're not going to be labels for much of anything when they're adults. They don't believe in labels, so they're not going to be labeling gender the way we do now. They're not going to be labeling sexuality the way we do now. Who knows what else is coming? That's the way it's going.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I think that that's true, but I think the way what Louis' point was is that we still are not to the point where we're there yet. I don't think we're there yet. I think we still have some fighting to do before you can just fade away.
Okay, well, let us know what you think in the comments down below about this subject. And we'll debate it out some more and then have crazy makeup sex. Or go to sleep, yeah. Alright, we'll be back soon with another video from our travels. Bye!
Bye.